Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark are all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
Edric and Ambrose were once again training hard in the courtyard, as they did daily at the break of dawn. Ambrose was clearly a formidable fighter, having been trained in his youth by Lord Rogar Rack, as well as spending time training with great knights such as the incredible Sir Stephen Roseheart, Lawrence Flake and his father Enger. When it came to natural skill and the art of swordsmanship, the young king had surpassed them all. Ambrose had a fighting style which would focus heavily on defence until the opponent was tired and easily defeated. Thanks to his great skill at reading his opponents, he could easily wear down any opponent before then attacking with strength and overwhelming speed. Edric had decided to attack quickly and violently this morning to try and force a weakness in Ambrose's defence. He had tried the cautious approach yesterday and ended up on his arse several times for his trouble. Finally, he'd found it. The weakness. It was there for just a split second, but Edric took it. He struck for the leg and was able to swipe Ambrose off his feet. The young king hit the ground with a hard thud, a grunt and a chuckle. Edric reached out a hand to pull up his king. Ambrose smiled as Edric pulled him up. "Well fought, Sir Firehand." "You're quite the impressive fighter, your grace," he said fondly. "I thank you, sir, yet I hope I won't have to use my skill for real anytime soon," Ambrose replied. "What do you mean by that?" "I don't enjoy fighting or battle, I prefer peace." Edric was slightly surprised, yet this did confirm the suspicion and worries he had for his king. He was not his father. "Your grace, you do realise that your father wished to conquer the north. You have the skills, why won't you use them and finish his legacy?" he asked, angered. "In war, we lose thousands of men with families, who will leave behind children and widows, who won't be able to survive the winter without them. Then there's the small folk on both sides who suffer when armies march through their lands, killing, raiding, raping, burning their homes and livestock. Not even the best commander can stop it. I want a realm where winter will not be an issue," Ambrose replies calmly. "I now rule over Andalia. I intend to change a few things. We must accept the Northmen and their ways. What does it matter what gods a man worships? Gods don't make a man. Same goes for the Valyrian refugees. They are all citizens of Andalia and will be treated equally." This surprised Edric and awakened a rage in him. "Are you mad? The Valyrians are bloodthirsty conquerors who wed brother to sister. There might be some lords appointed by your father who are Valyrians, but they could very well be spies and I don't trust them. My home city was conquered shortly before I came to Andalia. It was completely destroyed because we resisted. They are less than human," Edric shouts. "I understand your concerns, sir," Ambrose replied in a slightly raised tone, "but I'm no fool. I will make sure Andalia continues to grow and prosper." Ambrose places his hand upon Edric's shoulder. "Do not worry, I have plans to ensure that Andalia and my father's legacy will continue into greatness." "Very well, your grace," Edric replied, now calm. "But I will keep you to your word. I want only what is best for House Sevenstar, as I always have since I came across the narrow sea." With that, Edric leaves the training ground. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Citadel with me, Grand Maester Stitch, where we return to my favourite series on the channel, The Knights of the North, as King Ambrose of Andalia, the second king of the Great Northern Kingdom of Andalia. The kingdom is still in a great period of mourning after the loss of obviously King Enger, the hero for so long in this series, and the founder obviously of this great kingdom. But yet we're Ambrose, now we are at war with the wildlings, even though we're not taking part. As I said, I don't want to take part. We're not at the moment anyway. We'll see how it goes for now and see what is in the best course of action for Andalia as the war progresses. We probably do have the, well, we do by far have the biggest army in the north because of such prosperous lands that we do have. I'm looking around the lands and look how much Sevenstar is actually prospering. We have large winter reserves. We have household guard drilling, which improves our levy size and the morale of our armies. We've got economic innovation going on, puts the tax up. Stewardship advice puts the tax up. Military innovation puts the levy size and the fort level up. Garrison size is up. And we've also got sailors recruited, so 20% plus on the galleys and the reinforcement rate. So That is absolutely awesome that it's just prospering so much. And also the city of Goldenfield, which is obviously of House Shirax, the Valyrians, if you remember, that is also prospering well in military innovation. And so is the castle of Greenstar, which, if you remember, is the castle which was passed on to Engor's brother Owen, and it's now the line of the Greenstars of House Sevenstar that rule there. We are still deciding where we're going to expand to, but we're still obviously in mourning. But after that, we will be looking to expand. We can go north into the Bolton lands, but we are also trying to get the claim on the west lands over here, the Barrowlands and all those big open plains, which I think would be the best to swallow up the most prosperous lands of the north whilst we've got chance. The most southern lands as well are obviously more prosperous than the frozen northern lands. As you can see, Sevensport is plains, and so is Whitford, so is the White Star, so is Oldcastle, so is Maidensgate, so is Widow's Watch, and so is Blacksheep Hill. So all the mainland of Andalia, other than Hornwood, which is forest land, is a vast open plains, which is obviously great for all that farmland, all the cavalry and all that sort of thing. It's brilliant. No Arctic, no mountains, but then obviously we do get our wood from the forest. This is all for lore, obviously it makes not much difference in the game at all, but I like to try and keep it realistic. So we probably could do with more woodland at some point, as the Hornwood is the only land really that we can get wood from. Then again, it looks like Moat Cailin apparently looks like woodland, and then Silverreed is the Neck Causeway, which we do need to build a refuge and a fort in at some point. I think we will build a fort because it doesn't cost much. It'd be nice to have a little fort down there in Silverreed, considering that is the first province that one must pass through if they're coming north to attack Andalia. But yeah, as I said, everything's prospering so good. But then, as you can see, Spearmouth and Barraton are both plains, so it would be nice to take them, especially as Barraton and the Rills are well known for all their horses. So it'd be nice to get more cavalry for the Northern Army. Obviously, as we're Andal, we've got great cavalry, so it'd be good to get a lot more horses for our mounted cavalry. We do need to worry about the wildlings up here, 9,000 men that have got the Shadow Tower under siege at the moment. But like we said, we'll see how it goes. The North and the Night's Watch might be able to win that war together without us taking part, but at least it will weaken the North for us. We do only have our daughter so far. Let's just leave things ticking along. But yeah, we'll let things prosper. We'll wait and see how things do go in the North. And one thing I did notice, which is absolutely awesome, is... Oh, one second. My wife Rennie asked me to buy her some new clothes because of the pregnancy. She has outgrown most of her wardrobe and now feels frustrated for not having anything nice to wear whenever she needs to make an appearance at court. Very well, summon the tailor. My wife in real life is having the exact same problem at the moment, where we have to keep going shopping because obviously she's pregnant and we have to keep going and buying new clothes for her. But yes, Lord Danes, who was Jonquil's oldest son and heir, who is the Lord of Maidensgate, he obviously has 3 sons and a daughter. His oldest son, who has had children as well, Sir Harston, who is his heir, but... and he's got a son as well, grandson, so the Blue Star of House Sevenstar is pretty secure. Septon Eustace, his second son, who is a Septon, has a son. He isn't married, so I don't know what went on there. That's not sticking to his oaths and his vows very well, is it? Then he's got his daughter, who is a twin, who is married to Sir Coleman Longthorpe, but it's her twin that I want to show off here, who I've realised is absolutely incredible. Sir Lister Sevenstar. He's only 16 and he's a twin, but he is a skilled commander, a heavy infantry leader, a twin obviously, a knight, a formidable fighter, attractive, a duelist. He's honourable, shy, stubborn, proud, kind and diligent. He is absolutely incredible. So I'm going to see if we can invite him to court, and no, we can't. What if we send you a little gift, dear? What would you be? Our second cousin? You're our cousin's son, so would that make you our second cousin? I think that's how it works, isn't it? But yes, we can invite you to court. I want him as one of our household knights because he is absolutely incredible with stats like that. And with him being fifth in line for the lands of Maidensgate, there's no point in him sticking around. He may as well come and be a knight for us. But yeah, absolutely incredible. Right, let's tick things along a little bit more and see what's happening. King Ambrose of the Rivers and Hills has declared Riverland Valeman de jure war over Southstone on King Osric the Mad. Okay, so yeah, the Brackenlands are still under the control of the Vale. So it looks like the Riverlands are going to try and take that. Then they've pretty much got all the Riverlands, other than this little bit around Duskendale, which is controlled by the Stormland. So that's interesting. The tables have really turned down there. Obviously, the Mountain of Vale completely conquered the Riverlands at one point, but now it looks like the Riverlands are the main power down there. The Reach is still in utter chaos. They're being invaded by like 3 different people all at once, so it's going to be very interesting to see what the hell happens down there. To the Honourable Huntmaster Ambrose, peace be with you. I accept the suggestion that Ermin and Rosenna get married. Oh, Ermin Salzard, one of the sons of Alander Salzard, who's been in our court for a long time, 58. He was here from the early days of Engar. I can't remember who created him. I do apologise, but at least your character is still hanging around very well. I do want to give them land at some point, which is why I'm making sure all their heirs marry, so these houses don't die out. Because as soon as we have got land for houses like Salzard, Flake, Firehand, Fen, all these custom houses, I will give them land once we have it to give. So yeah, until then, I'll keep marrying their heirs off, making sure that their line continues, so that obviously they stick around in the long run. But yeah, at least that marriage is arranged. I'm trying to do it with all that. Ooh, House Silvereye is another one that we need to give land to as soon as we have it. Blessing upon you in your house, I accept your gracious invitation and will join your court forthwith. Sir Lister Sevenstar. Now let's have a look at our bodyguards. Considering that Lawrence Flake is the captain of the household guard, I don't think he needs to be a bodyguard. As actually, Brandon Greystar, you probably shouldn't be our bodyguard. I know you're our friend, not our bodyguard, so we'll go with Lister Sevenstar as a bodyguard. You're just our advisor and friend, Brandon. I think that everyone would agree that he's going to make an incredible bodyguard. He's probably our best bodyguard now. He's insane. So pretty much like our King's Guard. We can't actually form a King's Guard, which is a shame. I don't think you can do it until you take all of Westeros, which is a bit of a shame, as I say, because it'd be nice to have our own like version of the King's Guard. Your Grace, I hereby request that my son, Sir Jorin Redguard, be appointed as my successor to the command of Sevensguard. That's Redguard. Ah, yes, of course, because Moat Cailin doesn't act as a normal lordship. It's what's the actual word for it? It's you get the command of it instead. So there isn't. You have to appoint a successor. But yes, I will accept that request. Well, let's have a look at your son. Yeah, skilled fighter and a knight. Yep, I accept. It's a shame that we can't give it as a lordship, though it's a command instead. But if we can keep giving it to the Red Guards, that'd be perfect. I'd be more than happy with that. It occurred to me that my wife is feeling somewhat gloomy as of late. The burden of her unborn child is surely causing some hormonal imbalance that is affecting her mood. I'll buy her something nice, which makes her health go up. We lose a bit of gold. We could gain charitable. Your wife will certainly be glad. We can go spend time with her, which has the same effect on health, but we could gain family person. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll spend time with her instead. Lately, I've been trying to help and advance my family wherever possible. I have gained the family person trait. That's pretty awesome, because there was only a 15% chance of getting that, so that's pretty good that we have got that trait. It's a great trait to have, and I'm glad that he has got that, because Ambrose, the sort of character I feel that he is that sort of person, a family person, so I'm glad that he has got that trait. Okay, so we've got vicious rumours, general opinion -10. There are all kinds of foul rumours about this character, most likely started by some rival or enemy. Well, we know who that is. Obviously, he's got so many friends. Ermin Salzard, Kristen Silvereye, Colmer Snow, Max Richards, Edward Hooton, and Brandon Greystar. As you can see, he's a very, very popular guy. Who's Colmer Snow? He's got a bastard friend as well. My god, you really wouldn't make Engor very happy, King Ambrose. At all. You've got a First Man Stark bastard as a best friend. You've got a cripple as a best friend. You've got a bastard as a best friend. And then obviously we've got Anguy Silvereye, who is our rival. So I'm guessing this is the guy who's spreading vicious rumours about us. You absolute bastard. Oh wow, he's got 3 rivals, so he must be a bit of a cock, really, then, by the looks of things, considering he's got so many rivals. Ermin Salzard's his rival, Prince Lionel, our brother, is his rival, and then King Ambrose. And something that else has come out about Prince Lionel is that he has come out. He's a homosexual. Obviously, no problem with that, but what other courtiers might think of it in this time period? Could be a little bit questionable. I know Engor definitely would not be very happy about that, but I see how he's waited until his dad has died until he has come out as gay. Colmer Snow, who are you then? Considering you're our friend and you're our brother's rival, who actually are you? Your mother is Dalla of Footy Hill and your father is Master Gallard Roseworth. They was the twins, if you can remember, the two twins. Yep, and they rule in the Black Sheep Hills, so it's your bastard, is it? I'm trying to remember who created those characters. I do apologise, I get very mixed up with who has created who. But, oh no, where have you gone? So it's not your... It's your wife's bastard, Colmer Snow. Okay, so who's his father? Merritt of Footy Hill. Okay, interesting. Interesting. As long as we know who you are and where the hell you've come from, there's not really much else we can do. I'm just waiting for this war to end so that we can get ourselves crowned, get our coronation done. But at least we are getting our claims why this is happening. Did that just say someone had died? Grayscale colony has been built in refuge of Sevensport. At the age of 41, your brother-in-law Lawrence Flake died. Oh no! Not Lawrence. Bollocks. Died after a disagreement with a meal. I really like Lawrence Flake. It's a good job he has had a child. He's obviously married to our sister, Prince Janny, who hates us for some reason. Well, he does have a daughter as well, by the looks of it. Ellery Flake, who's obviously our ward, who's very impressive. So as long as we can keep him around, House Flake will continue. And I'm thinking to give House Flake some of the lands up around the Karstart lands. Well, what would be in Karstart lands in the future is they're like Arctic cold lands. And I think with a sigil and a name like House Flake, they've got to go somewhere snowy. And a son was born to Edward Hooton, a Midlera named Jonas. So that's absolutely awesome. Wow, minus 70 combat skill, but he's still a great commander. But Jonas Hooton, and he's been born with a quick trait as well. That is absolutely awesome. So House Hooton will continue. I'm very surprised. I didn't think he'd have a son or a child at all. So it's awesome that his house continues, and it's going to continue with a very impressive heir. We won't click a focus for you just yet. We'll wait and see what you develop into. We could assign a guardian, someone with good learning. Let's send you to Margella Stakely, as she's got very good learning. And I believe that's Lionel's wife, isn't it? Yes. Or Lionel's cover story, considering he's now gay. I'm absolutely gutted that Sir Lawrence Flake has died, though. I was a big fan of Lawrence Flake. Him and Edric Firehand, Silvereye. Oh my god, where's that wildling host come from? Damn! New Lord Commander on the wall. Lord Commander Lionel of Northfort. Okay. Whether you are. So it looks like the other one may have died. Your Grace will receive word that dragon I don't really care about. Dragons, not interested in dragons in the slightest. We've come here to get away. I say this every episode. Creighton of Creighton's Willowwitch host has declared Creighton of Willowwitch host invasion of the River and Hills. Okay, so we've got an Andal Lord who's coming over to attack the Riverlands. They've picked a good time as well, considering the Riverlands is at war with the Vale, so it'll be interesting to see what... And Ambrose Mud is now known as the Unread Heir. That's probably because he's going to get absolutely crushed. Lord Master Sirio of Doranel's Hill has declared Doranel Hill slave raid on the coastlands of Lord Osmond the Brute. Yeah, Lord Osmond Silvereye decided to move back home, and he's took the coastlands over in Andalos. But as you can see, Valeria is right up north now, so I don't know why he decided to do that. It was a bit silly. Oh, and a daughter has been born to King Ambrose, Lucia Sevenstar. She's been born attractive. I'm not sure about the name Lucia, though. Let's have a look for a better name. Could name her Renner name. Let's have a look for a nice Andal Northman. Maybe we could give her a northern name, just to try and get in with the more northern way of life, now that we are Andal Northmen. Margaret, Annette, Barbara. No, I don't really like Barbara, it sounds weird. Alice. I always tend to use Alice, like Alice Karstart, but yeah, I do like that name. So yeah, we'll go with that. So we've got Alice Sevenstar and Princess Violet Sevenstar. Damn it, we needed a son, but another daughter. It started that way for Engor as well, didn't it? He had two daughters before he finally had a son. Where is... Speaking of our sisters, we need to arrange a new marriage for Princess Janna. I'm not sure who the hell we are going to marry you to. I don't know if we really have anyone around our court that's worth marrying. It would be nice to marry you to someone in our court. One of their houses, maybe. My liege, my work in Spearmouth seems to have come to fruition. By bribing, cajoling, escorting, threatening and forging documents, I have managed to fabricate a claim on the lordship of Spearmouth, presently held by Lord Cleos of Spearmouth. Use it. There we go. So we now have another claim, which is awesome. Let's send out Max again then to fabricate a claim on Barraton. Now, we really do want to get Barraton. It's a really good, healthy province. And obviously one of the best provinces in the north, one of the bigger ones, so we definitely do want that. But yes, let's try and find a match for our sister. Edric Firehand, are you still married? Yes, you are. I think you would have made a good match. Most of our courtiers are married, really. Salazar's married. The Rosehearts all have matches. Edward's obviously married. I think all the Silver Eyes are married. The Racks are married. Needs to be someone of age. Gerald Mendleton, are you married? Yep, you're married. You've not had a child yet, though. Silver Eye, he's our rival. We don't want to marry our sister to our rival. Or do we? No, I don't think we do. Islander Salazar's very old. Has his wife... Yeah, his wife has died, though. Maybe we could marry her to him. Yeah, let's see if we can marry her to Islander Salazar. Yes, our sister. Yeah, why not? Let's marry her to Salazar and see if we can get a couple more Salazars in and around the realm, considering that the flakes have died out. Hopefully our nephew, Lord Ellery Flake, does remain. Your sister Janny has come storming into your chamber seeking a word. She is refusing to marry Islander Salazar. She says that her betrothed is not of sufficient rank or importance to marry her. She hates us anyway, so she was probably going to complain no matter what. We could force her to marry her, which is going to change her opinion of us even more. Fine, sister, I can't make you marry. No, we're going to make her marry. You do as you are commanded by your king, dear sister. Maybe if you weren't such a bitch, we wouldn't have commanded you to. But yeah, we're gonna make sure that she does marry. Wow, the wildlings are absolutely crushing the Northmen. Maybe we should step in. I don't know. There's a massive Bracken and there is a massive force though up north that may be able to stop them. So who knows? Maybe that's the blowing the horn of winter event that's given them so many men. Who knows? Anyway, time for our mid POV. Hand of the King, Rogar Rak called the council to meet in the King's personal training yard early in the morning. It was time to give the King the information he needed to make the plans for his reign. Rogar knew they were young, and failure to plan was the surest path to mistakes and failure. He needed these young men to see all that was involved to make sure Andalia not only survived, but prospered and grew. Good morning, Lord Hand. It was the young Lord Hooton, ever cheerful. Rogar puffed on his pipe and nodded in return. Sir Firehand, Esty and Brandon all arrived together, unusually quiet. Then came Lady Boar, Mistress of Whisperers, slowly and with a knowing look. Rogar had called them down here to size them up and see if they were up to the task of advising their king. Rogar started his task. I want answers from each of you, and I will have them before any of you leave this training yard. It is my job as Hand to make sure you are all fit for the job of advising our king, and not here just because you are a friend. I will not tolerate incompetence, it leads to disaster. I cannot be here forever, so you will tell me how you all intend to help our king succeed. Rogar reloaded his pipe and looked around. Lord Greystark, what are the lands we must take from the Starks first? Brandon stammered, surprised at Lord Rak's question. Oh, the Rills or the Barrowlands, perhaps. It would split the north and isolate Flint's Finger and the rest of the neck. The horses in the region would also help reinforce the cavalry. Native northern horses are stockier than the ones his Grace's host had brought from Andalos, but they make up for their size in their strength and hardiness. Rogar looks at Lord Hooton. How many additional men will we gain from the Barrowlands and the Rills? Lord Hooton quickly replied. I estimate between 3,000 and 4,000, a large number of them mounted. Rogar nods at the answer, then walks across the yard and grabs a trading sword. Sir Firehand, this war is coming, and I want you to personally see to it we inflict as much damage on the Northern Army as possible, for the second war will be worse. An evil grin crossed the Lord Marshal's face. It will be done, my lord, it will be done. Rogar singles out Lady Elena. My lady, I expect you to set up spy networks through the counties Dawn Forest, Effering, Overton and the Dreadfort. I want to keep an eye on the Boltons. We should eliminate them completely if half the tales are true. Elena nodded her agreement with Lord Rak. Brandon objected. With respect, Lord Rogar, we cannot simply wipe out every northern house. It will only incite resentment from the small folk. Rogar shook his head. I've no intention of removing any more houses, lad. This was mostly Engor's doing, but the Boltons are an exception. I'm sure even you've heard of their cruelty, especially with what they did to the late Lady Lancer. No, it's time to bury the flayed man of the Dreadfort, especially since that might end up being your new land once everything is said and done. Estienne, these 2 wars will cost 1,000 gold and 5,000 lives. Make sure we can afford to make those the lives of mercenaries and not our own. Rogar said it in earnest to his son. In 2 well-planned wars, you can take enough from the wolf that they will never threaten us again. I will see to it personally, father, Estienne says solemnly. This will take you the better part of your lives to accomplish. Know that now. You are all young, take advantage of it now. For I may not live to see it. Someday, Estienne, you'll be hand. You'll need to make sense of it all. Finally, Rogar comes back to the Lord Hooton. You stay sharp, my Lord Hooton. Our king will need all of your martial talents in the years to come. Rogar looks at all of them. Engar had a great vision. He told it to me. He intended for Andalia to grow. And to do that, a king needs vision, and those of you standing here are the king's vision. Rogar walked from the training yard and met to inform the king. Rogar swung the practice sword a few times and assumed his stance, then saluted. He walked to the king's chambers to give him his report on the kingdom, and whether his council passed muster. Owen met him at the door and took the practice sword from him and handed him a sweet roll from the kitchen. Then Rogar opened the door to Ambrose's chambers. He was waiting at his desk with a disgusted look on his face. You make Lord Greystock nervous with your antics, old man. Ambrose stared straight at his hand. Then his veneer cracked, and they both started laughing. I thought he might have pissed himself there for a moment, Lord Rack replied, but he stood up to me, and he took the hard truth like a man. You've picked a fine council, your grace. They will all serve you well. Ambrose looked up at Rogar. Even if we don't go to war anytime soon, Rogar bit down on the sweet roll. Give me a spy network to keep an eye on the Boltons on my northern borders, and I don't care if we ever go to war again, boy. Then, why the act if you don't mind me asking, Ambrose asks. I know you have good friends. Take Kristen Silvereye, good lad, but utterly useless in a command position. But his wife Elena, she is truly a fine asset. As is Edward Hooton, his military mind exceeds mine tenfold, except in a sword fight. Only Brandon and Estienne give me pause. I don't doubt their heart or courage, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Brandon and Estienne's kind heart may cause them to hesitate when action is needed. Ambrose thought carefully about Rogar's words for a moment. Do they pass your test? Rogar smiled. Yes, my king, your counsel is approved. Now let us go and finish breakfast so you can go and speak with Sir Firehand and keep him entertained. You need time for your children and that pretty young wife of yours too. Then both of them went into the next room and ate breakfast. Okay, so Lord Rogar Rack, the priest hater of the Warrior's Way, once again proving what a badass that guy is. 68, still going strong. He is the last remaining survivor, I think, as well, of the original characters of the series. So, small tourney 3rd place, regional tourney win, and he's respected by his bannermen. But yeah, he is respected very highly. He's like the last of the old guard, as I said. I did not understand fear before, but once you have felt your legs shake and teeth chatter with fear, then it is hard to remain brave. This does not make me a coward, does it? Loses the trait brave. Interesting. Why have we just lost? Okay. Probably plays in well with where the story's going, though, for King Ambrose. Wow, the Wildlings have won. Minus 100%. Damn it, they have absolutely swept through the Night's Watch. What the hell is going to happen in the north now? King Mikon invasion of the Night's Watch has ended. Lord Commander Lionel of the Night's Watch has lost. My king, we've had reports from the far north of Westeros that the wall has fallen to the Wildlings. They attacked the wall in great numbers and have overwhelmed the defences of the Night's Watch. Lord Commander Lionel of the Northfort has taken the survivors south and is trying to galvanise a counter-attack. Oh my. Okay, so people have just arrived at our court. Are they to do with the Night's Watch then, I'm guessing? Where are they? Will they be at the bottom? Is it this guy? Lucas of Arsford, is that? Yeah, Black Brother. Okay, so we have a couple of Knights Watchmen that have come to our court. And are you the other one that's just arrived? Alana, whoever you are. But Lucas is a Black Brother and a Knight, a skilled fighter. Okay, interesting. So Lucas of Arsford. Did any others? I don't think any others appeared, did they? Oh no. Ronos of Eastwatch by the Sea. Ronessa Snow, who's married to... okay, I'm not really sure what's happening there. But yeah, let's have a look at the wildlings now then, now that they've taken... Wow, they are some... the wildlings having castles that powerful is actually quite scary. But it'll be interesting to see what the hell happens now. I've had the wall fall to White Walkers, but I don't think I've ever had the wall fall to the wildlings. Whenever a wildling king takes over beyond the wall in any of my playthroughs, they normally die out before they get a chance to do anything, and everything just collapses in on itself. So it'll be really interesting to see what the hell they're going to do with the watch, and will they invade more of the north and start taking these northern lands? I really hope not, because obviously we want them. Maybe we should have took part, but it's too late now. Too late for us to do anything. So who knows? We'll wait until we get our claim on Barraton, and then what is the lordship of Barraton? Oh, it's just the lordship. It's not a high. No one's created the high lordship of the Barrowlands then, by the looks of it. So we can't. We have to do it bit by bit anyway. Then, so we'll wait until we've got a claim on both, and we'll try and press both our claims together. Take the Spearmouth and Barraton together. Who knows how long it may take, but we can now organise our coronation, which is good. The time has finally come for me to officially be recognised as King of Andalia. In order to do this, I will need the support of the faith, but convincing the authoritative members will be neither easy or cheap. To begin the preparations, I should find a priest willing to crown me. Send for the most powerful septon in the realm, Roax. Yep, obviously we want Roax to do it, our high septon. He did our wedding, and we want him to do our coronation as well, and hopefully he'll accept. I can't see why he wouldn't accept. Be very surprised if he didn't. I think we'll hold a great tourney as well after the coronation to celebrate. I wonder who's going to be the great tourney champion now that Lord Stefan Roseheart's dead. Obviously, as we found out in the last... Was it the last episode? That the new heir of the White Star is literally just Stefan Roseheart reborn. It's incredible. To the excellent King Ambrose of Andalia, I shall be honoured to officiate His Grace's coronation. I eagerly await His Grace's instructions regarding the manner of the ceremony in order to better prepare myself for this sacred duty. Marvellous, marvellous. Now that I have found a faith of the 7 priests willing to crown me, I must decide how much I wish to spend on the ceremony leading up to it. It shall be an extravagant ceremony. A dignified ceremony will do. It will have a... No, we'll go for an extravagant ceremony. Andalia is very prosperous. We'll show our power and wealth. We'll go extravagant. Why not? We'll go for it. And then let's... Can we do it at the same time? No, we've got to wait until our crowning is over, and then we will host a grand tourney in the Kingdom of Andalia and see how we go with that. We might be pretty good at that ourselves. Only a few more days remain before I am crowned king before the gods and all my subjects. My court is filling with distinguished guests, both vassals and foreign dignitaries, come to bear witness to this fundamental moment of my reign. Such a lavish ceremony is a rave spectacle to behold, even amongst royalty. It will never be soon enough. Let's get ourselves crowned. As we are getting -2 opinion off our vassals for the fact that we are not crowned yet. With so many distinguished guests having travelled all the way to my court, the least I could do is entertain them while we all wait for the day of my coronation. This could also provide me with an opportunity to impress some of my more influential guests. Okay, attempt to use diplomacy to impress your guests. I do not want to embarrass myself. Well, our diplomacy isn't great, but I think we'll be okay. Hear me, everyone. Whatever doubts I might have had about my performance were completely unfounded. My speech about the duties of a good king to his subjects were poignant and extremely well received. Oh, that's awesome. All of the guests' opinion is increased by 10% because of your speech, and we gain 75 prestige, as we don't have much prestige at the moment, which is a shame. We do gain a lot of prestige, you can see just from some of our things, such as the Sevenstar bloodline, having a Valyrian steel sword, being a formidable fighter. I was surprised tonight when Roax stated that the period of festivity I've organised is unfit for the severity of the holy charge I am about to receive. He has concluded his scoldings by remarking that he has witnessed many impious acts and degenerate behaviour during his visit that have left him shocked and repulsed. Okay, we lose 75 piety. Clearly he is exaggerating. I'm not expecting that from Septon Roax, considering he's not a coward, but he's not the most outgoing person. So I'm very shocked by that. My chastity has led my rivals to question my masculinity. How dare they? I'll tell you what, Anguy Silver, I'm going to end up challenging you to a duel if you carry on, you cock. Okay, so we lose 80 prestige and will be known as the effing... What? We best not. Doesn't look like it took effect. I don't want a dodgy nickname. I don't care about dragons. Getting fed up of hearing about dragons, if I'm honest. Keep telling that don't not to bother me with news about dragons. What's going on up north? Nothing yet. I kneel before Roax as a host of lords surround us in complete silence. The courtiers bless me and place the crown upon my head, proclaiming me King of Andalia by grace of the gods. I am finally and truly king. Gain 75 prestige and piety. Perfect. Lord Osmond the Brute decided to release Adena Silvereye from prison. What? Isn't that his own family member? Adena Silvereye is... That's his... It's his daughter. What? Yeah, it's his daughter. He imprisoned his daughter, his 6-year-old daughter. Has he lost the plot? No, he's a tyrant, apparently. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not going to get involved. But we do want to hold a great tourney, a small local, a large regional. Yeah, a large regional tourney for all of Andalia to celebrate the coronation. As well as the birth of our daughter. We've had a pretty good year, really, for events. Apart from the death of Lawrence Flake, of course. Our brother, by marriage. But we'll wait for that tourney. What is actually going on up here, then? Is they made that like their new capital. Prince Forek of the Wall. Okay. High Chiefdom of the Wall. Is that... Yeah, High Chief of the Wall. Castle Black. Okay, so he's gave it to all different law. I thought he'd have kept one of them for himself, considering that the Haunted Forest isn't exactly the seat of a king when you have Castle Black. I thought he might have took Castle Black for himself, or the Night Fort or something, but he must prefer living beyond the wall. At age 11, your acquaintance Tristan Wood died in the dungeons of King Ambrose of the Rivers and Hills. What? He's killed his own son. Oh no, it's his... Yeah, his son. What the hell? What is going on at the minute? Why are people imprisoning their own young children? Tourney of Sevenstar, it's time to let the tournament begin. And for the next 2 months, let all show their martial brilliance. Wow, 2 months. That's one hell of a tournament. The first day's jousting is complete, with many lesser riders having already been eliminated from the competition. Now, over the coming days, the remaining males should compete in the final list, tilting until only one champion remains. Fine joust order. I will watch every tilt. Yes, I want to watch every tilt and see who is going to be the best knight in the realm. How is Lord Lancer doing? Has he had a son yet? No, just 2 daughters. Has Albert had his new child yet? No, she's not popped yet. And more importantly, which I don't understand what's going on, has Estienne had... Oh, she's in hiding. She is in the final months of pregnancy. Finally, she's been pregnant for like 2 years. 2-3 years. I don't know what's happened. Lord Wilbert Josso and Prince Owen Sevenstar were the next to joust in the list. After many tilts and broken lances, Prince Owen was eventually unhorsed, leaving Lord Wilbert to be declared the winner. Well done, Lord Wilbert. 66. He was known as a great tourney knight, wasn't he, though? Formidable fighter, so that's what got him his lands. Edric Firehand and Sir John Rosehart were the next to joust in the list. After many tilts and broken lances, Sir John was eventually unhorsed, leaving Edric to be declared the winner. Sir John was he was the ward of Engor, wasn't he? And well played, Edric. Well played, my son. I do really love Edric Firehand. I hope that his line continues. I hope that he can get himself a son soon. Well done, a fine joust. Lord Danish, Sevenstar and Lord Roose Lancer were the next to joust. After many tilts, Lord Roose was eventually unhorsed, leaving Lord Danish to be declared the winner. Okay, well played, Danish. Fair enough. Lord Rogar Rack and John Rosehart were the next to joust in the list. After many tilts and broken lances, John was eventually unhorsed. Well played, Rogar, at your age, 69. Fair play. That even outdoes Barristan the Bold, doesn't it? Lord Roland Borrow and Lord Albert Morga were the next to joust. After many tilts and broken lances, Lord Albert was eventually unhorsed, leaving Lord Roland to be declared the winner. Who's Lord Roland? Of the sisters, okay. Sir Jorin Redguard and Sir Manfred Josso were the next to joust, and Sir Jorin is the winner. Sir Jorin, oh yeah, he's the heir to Sevensguard. Sir Lister Sevenstar and Sir Mana. Who? We're the next to who the hell are you? Where have you come from? Your liege is Lord Roos. Okay, so we have a Jogus Nye in the Black Sheep Hills. What the fuck? Where the hell did you come from? And you're an Andal Jogus. Okay, whatever. He's an Andal. Not an Andal, sorry. Faith of the Seven, Jogus Nye. It's actually a decent commander as well. Brilliant commander, organizer, unyielding. Battlefield terrain master, a skilled fighter. Who the hell are you and where have you come from? You're actually pretty decent. Interesting. Well done, fine joust though. Our cousin, Sir Lister Sevenstar, has won. Sir Lennox Sevenstar and Lord Colmer Bloom were the next to joust. After many tilts and broken lances, Lord Colmer was eventually unhorsed. Sir Lennox of Greenstar, ah yes, that's our cousin, isn't it, as well? Well played. Fine joust. Damon Longthorpe and Sir Harstin Sevenstar were the next to joust. After many tilts and broken lances, Sir Harstin was eventually unhorsed. So Sir Damon Longthorpe, well played. Halman Bloom and Sir Lucas Longthorpe, and Sir Halman Bloom progresses to the next round. Sir Hallian Strum and Sir Colmer Longthorpe. Sir Hallian declared the winner. No idea who you are. Okay, so you're part of Lord Colmore's court. Lord Medgar Rosehart and Sir Driz... Who? It's another Jogus Nye. Why the hell is Roos Lancer's court full of Jogus Nye? We're going to have to go and investigate this. Well done, a fine joust. Sir Davos Redguard and Sir Albert Burrell with the next joust. Sir Davos is the winner. Sir Gerald Mendleton and Sir Bradamar. Who are you, Sir Bradamar? Okay, so you're Lordship of the White Star, a knight in that. Okay, fair enough. And Sir Gerald Mendleton is the winner. As the feast begins, Lord Pate Longthorpe presented a petition before the court. He says that crime and banditry in Longsister is increasing threat. Fine, I will send Edric to deal with the problem. I'm sure Edric Firehand will deal with that problem. Harwin Fenn has used his attendance at the feast in Sevenstar to present a petition for justice before the court. He claims that whilst he was disdained by Lord Bowen Fenn, he was barbarically tortured and mutilated. He demands justice and redress for his abuse. Well, you've not been mutilated because it's not in your traits. So he's clearly not guilty. Edric organised a group of men to tackle the bandits and rogues in Longsister. He successfully captured or killed many prominent criminals and publicly hanged them as an example to the others. The problem has now been stamped out and Lord Pate is satisfied. Good work, Edric. The summer fair archery contest went very well. The clout and the space around it was filled with arrows. Some of them had hit the bullseye. Some of them had missed the clout altogether. The winner was a modest man who disappeared rather quickly after he collected his prize. This is suspicious. So he was a good archer, a good poacher as well, I think. Marshal, find and arrest that man. Good archer, that man. Yeah, good archer, that man. We're not going to go after him. Well played. He probably just didn't want the fame. Edric Firehand and Sir Joran Redguard were the next to joust in the list. After many tilts and broken lances, Sir Joran was eventually unhorsed, so Edric progresses. The next one is between Danis Sevenstar and Roland Borrell, and Lord Danis progresses. Next one is Rogar Rack and Lister Sevenstar, the great young knight, our cousin. And Rogar Rack went past him. Well played, Rogar Rack. A minor merchant from Sevenstar is present at the feast and has taken the opportunity to bring a petition before you. He says that Oswin Steelheart owes him a debt and that has gone unpaid, while Oswin himself claims that this debt is no longer valid and urged you to declare the debt cancelled. The debt stands, the merchant must be paid. I agree with Oswin, but that makes our city tax go down massively. Sorry, Oswin, but with your traits, I believe you probably do owe him. Lord Wilbert and Sir Lennox were the next, and Wilbert progresses. Sir Halman Bloom and Medgar Rosehart, and Sir Halman Bloom progresses. Sir Gerald Mendleton and Sir Davos Redguard, and Gerald Mendleton progresses. I wasn't expecting such a fine Valyrian jouster. Sir Hallian Strum and Sir Damon Longthorpe, and Harlan Strum. When are we going to get to the finals? It was Sir Gerald Mendleton and Edric Firehand's turn to joust in the lists, and Edric won soundly. In the final tilt, Sir Gerald was sent flying from his saddle in a hail of shattered lance pieces. He landed with a sickening crunch, clearly grievously injured. Most unfortunate. And it just happens to be when Edric Firehand goes up against a Valyrian that the Valyrian ends up getting hurt. I don't think that's a coincidence, if I'm honest. I think Edric Firehand may have hurt him on purpose. Edric Firehand, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, obviously, Edric Firehand won that, as we've just seen the outcome. Hellenstrom and Lord Dane is Sevenstar with an extra. Okay, and Hellenstrom progressed. A son was born to Sir Estian Rack and Elena Shycross named Joa Rack. Okay, but okay, awesome. Sir Joa Rack. Interesting. Lord Rogar Rack and Lord Wilbert Josso were the next to joust. Wow, the two old men, a 66-year-old versus a 69-year-old. And Rogar Rack is declared the winner of that. Right, we must nearly be at the final. Edric Firehand and Sir Halion Strum were the next to joust. Sir Halion was eventually unhorsed, leaving Edric to be declared the winner. Come on, where's the final then? We must be about. Does that mean it's going to be Edric and Rogar for the final? No, Halen Bloom and Lord Rogar were the next to joust. After many tilts and broken lances, Lord Rogar was eventually unhorsed, leaving Sir Halman to be declared the winner. Halman Bloom. Okay, he is a giant and a skilled fighter, so fair play. Is he the Lord? No, he's not the Lord. Ah, he's the son of the Lord, and he's already had 3 sons, so the Bloom line looks pretty secure. Well done, a fine joust. That means it's going to be him and Edric in the final, as Edric got 1 more. After many tilts over several days, only 2 knights remained undefeated. Edric Firehand and Sir Halman Bloom faced each other in the final joust. And after many tilts of finally executed jousting, Sir Halman was unhorsed, leaving Edric Firehand to be declared the winner of the Grand Andalian tournament. Well played, Edric Firehand. I do love this character, so pretty happy with that. A worthy champion. Yes, indeed. Regional tourney win. Well played. New Lord Commander on the wall. Night gathers and now my... How can there be a new Lord Commander when the wall has collapsed? No idea. A son was born to Max Richard and Amira named Wilbert Richards. Awesome. So at least that's another new house that we'll be carrying on. Another one that does need land at some point. Tanissa has arrived at your court. No idea who you are. Before we end this episode, though, I do want to do a bit of investigating into Lord Roos of the Black Sheep Hills court, because for some reason, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, he's got 5 Jogus 9. His court is made up of Jogus 9. Where the hell have you come from? I think we're going to have to do some lore and some writing to explain where the hell this huge band of Jogus 9 have come from. It'd be crazy enough if it was Dothraki, who aren't that powerful yet because Valeria's still in control. Obviously, we've got the Dothraki here, which is a long way from there to Andalia. But then the Jogus 9 are over here. How the hell does a band of Jogus 9 end up in Andalia? I've got no idea how the hell that could have happened. But anyway, we will end this week's episode here. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, I really, really do appreciate it. Guys, I can't thank you enough. Please, though, don't forget to leave a like for me. It really will help me out. It helps the channel grow. It helps the series get found by new people who might not have found this series yet. So hopefully it'll help it grow. Subscribe as well if you haven't already. And hopefully I'll see you very soon for my next video or the next episode in this episode. Thank you and goodbye.